Hello guys, how's it going? Welcome to a fantastic video on this fantastic YouTube channel. And I know some of you guys are going to come out of nowhere and say bullshit, and okay, I'll take the criticism. I'll take the criticism. But anyway, let's keep right on going, and let's talk about the topic. And let's go ahead and talk about learning another language, because basically that's what we're going to end up doing anyway. Okay, so why am I talking about learning another language? Because we're on the topic of importing Japanese games. And when we're talking about importing Japanese games, well, let's just say that not all games end up getting an English translation, nor do they get an English translation patch, nor do they get a English Asia release. And considering the situations like the sequel to Moe Chronicle, that's right, and also the recent Omega Labyrinth Z, I mean, I think it's the perfect time for me to start covering on this, because you're going to end up importing these games if you want to play them, or hell, you might as well just end up importing your games instead, since considering the times we live in right now. So, of course, when you import these games, some of these games are going to be entirely in Japanese. And pretty much when it comes to these story-based, text-based, text-heavy things like Dream Club, for example, of course, everything's going to be in Japanese. There's going to be that language barrier. And what do we do? What is that solution? How can we get past that language barrier? Ladies and gentlemen, we learn the Japanese language. In case you're not understanding the situation, in case you already got a hold of it, but you're pretty much wanting to make sure and you want me to admit it out, yeah, that's why I am learning the Japanese language. So that way I can pretty much master the Japanese language in order to basically get past the language barrier of some Japanese import titles, and basically, I can end up mastering the Japanese language in no time. And how I got started here was one thing on Steam. There is a game called Influent, and search it on Steam. So I got a hold of Influent, and I also got a hold of the Japanese vocabulary pack, and pretty much I started going to town with it. So yeah, it's a very interesting game. I'll post the link to the game below. And also, I do have a lot of Japanese textbooks that I really got to get to finishing up. And yeah, I guess what's going on here right now, it's me going back from the beginning, because I haven't gotten a lot of time to basically finish up on the Japanese textbooks I got. So yeah, I'm gonna get started on finishing up, but unfortunately, I need to get myself caught up in the whole shindig. So that would mean starting over the reading process and over, but there's going to be times where I forget about reading the bloody book, and that's something around here. So that's where I'm going around here, searching for things left and right in terms of mastering the Japanese language, trying to look for other things to do that involves mastering the Japanese language. There could be some fun activities, some fun games on the internet. Hell, even a software that teaches you Japanese. Let me check for you. Oh yes, Human Japanese. See that HJ with the bamboo sticks all around here in the HJ? Yeah, right now I gotta get back to jumping on that bandwagon. Look at that. See those? Yeah, there it is. Yep. So yeah, that's called Human Japanese. You'll find it on Android and Windows. So yeah, I'm checking the place out there, and yeah, I'm starting on the beginners, and then as soon as I get done with beginners, I'll go ahead and buy the intermediate. It's really interesting. So it's like you'll find it on Windows, and you'll also find it on Android, and yeah, it gets interesting. So it's a very interesting software. You can have it on your Windows, you can have it on the go, all that kind of stuff. Also, like I said, go to Steam, you check out Influent, and basically, yeah. And yeah. So basically, the more I do from these lovely little softwares, the more I work with these textbooks, and I guess the more with it, I guess I'll end up mastering the Japanese language. I also got to master Japanese writing. That's another thing to keep in mind about, because not everything has voice acting. So yeah, we're gonna have to master Japanese writing, so that way we can understand Japanese text. It's a thing. It's a very interesting thing. So So basically, to sum up my situation here, is that basically you just gotta figure out many ways from left and right and master the Japanese language, and that way you will be more able to go past language barriers and etc. Now, as for you guys, I really recommend you end up looking for solutions left and right to pretty much learn and master the Japanese language, to learn and master the Japanese texts, and basically learn the stuff of etceteras, because we're going to be in a future to where we're going to have to be doing importing more often. And of course, there's going to be the language barriers. So if we master the Japanese language and then shit hits the fan, we'll jump into it. So basically, for example, like say you're a college student and there is a Japanese class you can take. Go to town, that is recommended. That is definitely a good idea, because basically what's going on here is we're considering the state that we're in. It's going to be a pain in the... That's a quality burp. Yeah. That's good. Anyway, so back on topic. So really, to be honest with you here, because I'm going to say this straight up, I think I lost track of what I was about to say because I was burping my ass off. Okay, now what I was going to say. We're going to be, right now, considering the state we're in, we're barely going to have a hard time looking for something to enjoy in the realms of entertainment, especially in terms of gaming. Because, like I said, there's three things going down. There's mediocrity, and then there's the predatory practices, and then there's the random unnecessary censorship happening, which kind of makes you go, eh? So, yeah, considering the timeline and considering the situation we're in, we're going to have to end up importing our games in the future, which means we're going to have to basically master the Japanese language in order to basically get prepared early, so that way when we do end up importing our games, we can flow through language barriers plenty. Alright, so a lot of you guys are asking, hey, I've done this video before in a commentary. Well, pretty much I just wanted to go ahead and get this a more elaborated video rather than the commentary I make, because basically I want to go into story about what's going on. Because here's what happened. When I decided to check out Dream Seed Club, I was in it for the modeling and whatnot, and unfortunately, there was some shindig that's going down, and it had to have me go through the official campaign. So the official campaign became very heavily text-centered, and there is not a single damn English translation. So unfortunately, I bit off more than I could chew on this time. So unfortunately, I think I got the fake mediocre endings. Yeah, I got the fake ending, and I didn't get the true ending with the character that I picked, because I wasn't able to do the translating and do the shenanigans and whatnot. And yeah, it does kind of happen. It really does suck. But however, if I end up mastering the Japanese language, I can pretty much get past the language barrier and maybe probably end up finally understanding Dream Seed Club. And also, I wish it would be more easy if Dream Seed Club would come to the United States and get localized by Xseed or some other localization company, so that way that game can get translated to English. That would be a wonderful thing. I would be happy to see that. That would be fantastic, but oh well. And then there's the Puyo Puyo games that stayed Japan only. Unfortunately, I ended up having to skip the story segments, and I could pretty much pick off from the gameplay where I can go from there, and yeah, that does tend to happen around here. But however, if I do end up mastering the Japanese language, I can flow past these language barriers and understand them better. And yeah, that does happen a lot. Okay, so with that said, and basically the TLDR solution here is, I'm gonna sound like a broken record here, but pretty much not all games get translated to English, not all games get that English patch, not all games get localized, not all games get that English Asia release, not all games get that treatment of where it can be partially Japanese, and you can get English stuff in it a lot of the times. Not all games are going to end up around here. Some games are going to be heavily text-based. There's going to be games with no voice acting. So with that said, master the Japanese language, learn the Japanese alphabets, and basically pretty much learn the Japanese rating system, so that when you import a game that's very entirely in Japanese, the language barriers will be a breeze for you, and that would be a wonderful thing. Alright, so with that said and that off my chest, that is all, and I will be looking forward to you in the next video. Don't mind the deja vu. It's just that I'm glad this video is not a commentary about this type of subject that's about learning the Japanese language, and thank goodness I'm doing something that's like an actual video that's not a commentary. Okay, you know what? I'll stop being around the bush. That's all. I'll see you in the next video. Yo, don't miss out on future shenanigans, while at the same time no up ahead anything video related. I will be appearing on these other sites. Be sure to follow. Also, support the channel over at Patreon for just $1 a month. Come on down to the description box and you will find the links.